Am I?
Happy Monday, everyone.
Hey. Happy Monday. It's true. Don't that beat give you that bounce like?
You got to fix this shot.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, Norm.
Yeah.
Hey, Norm. What's going on, y'all? Hey.
Hey.
What's going on? Real Estate Divas in the house. It's Miss Madison Realty of Christie's.
Kat Ali with Remax First Realty in Cranford.
Candace Mitchell with Group 26 Real Estate.
And tonight we have a very special guest, Mr. Major Bay with First, Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth Mortgage.
Welcome.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thanks for being on the Real Estate Divas. Divas! It's
Yes.
Monday. How was y'all weekend?
It's Monday. Yes.
Weekends go by so
I
quick.
know.
Especially when you just showing all weekend. All weekend's full of showings.
All day. How was your weekend,
Yeah.
Custom?
It was good. It was real good. I had an open house yesterday
Oh, where?
in Cresskill, New Jersey.
Oh, that's the one you took.
Another, the same house. Yeah. The same house.
How was it? 'Cause all the other houses are marked too high. So be clear.
Yeah. We didn't like the first open house. We had like about 10 to 15 families come.
There's still a lot of people.
Yeah, for
in this
that
market.
price range.
Yeah.
For that price range, absolutely. Yesterday it was only like 4. So I didn't stay for too long. I had one of my team members. She stayed, and I ended up going to New York Fashion Week.
How was that?
It was good. It was good. I go every year, and it was nice. It's always a good time, you know.
I want you to give us a picture so we know them to show our viewers
Yes,
that
it's on my
Miss Custom
Instagram.
at Fashion Week
Yeah.
in New York. I'm glad that you brought that up. My nephew, I've never ever heard of Philly Fashion Week.
Yeah, they have it in like all the major cities. Yeah,
I
and
had
even overseas.
no idea. So
Yeah.
we'll actually be watching his new clothing line.
Oh, that's good.
It's his name spelled backwards. I can't think of it right now, Asmar, but Auntie did shout you out.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I like that. I like the whole the community. Like, it's the creativity. It kind of gives me a break from real estate.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And yesterday was really nice. I was supposed to go to one today, but I had a client who wanted to
it's
submit
all
an
weekend.
offer. Yeah, so it's
Whoa.
basically from I think it started last Monday, and it's gonna end what's today, Monday? This Thursday, I think, is the last day.
Nice.
So I was supposed to go to one today, but I am gonna try to go to the one on Thursday.
That's the last day, so it should be like super lit.
Yeah, like the after party is probably gonna be
you
crazy.
got us some extra tickets. That's what I was referring to.
Either next year, because I do the winter and I do the spring as well. So the next one will be in September. So I'll try to see.
That's when the Victoria's Secret be having their thing too,
They
right?
everyone has is a part of the fashion week. Yeah, so yeah,
sounds exciting. My weekend, well, first I just want to have to show y'all happy birthday to our producer Norm. It was was it 50th? It was your 50th birthday?
25th.
25th. We'll take that.
He had a 70s, 80s, and 90s birthday thing, and that's him dressed as, I'm going to assume that's Ike. That's not Ike.
Oh,
you know what?
Don,
same.
No.
Same. Little piece of soul. And his wife was dressed up as well. And our other producer was Queen Latifah. She was rocking that mic.
Yes.
I was like, well, look at them. Look at them. It was just a sight to see.
That's fun.
Over the weekend, we had our first time home buyers seminar, and I was super excited. A few buyers actually were pre-approved.
Nice.
The whole team came out, lending the home inspector, my favorite attorney, one of my favorite attorneys. I don't want to mess up no relationship. Our title girl, and of course, home inspector. So we had a really, really good time. I was super excited about that. How was your weekend, girl? I know you was working yesterday.
I was working. I couldn't make it to the party, but just worked. Did a couple showings. Submitted a few offers. One got accepted.
Can we
nice.
get your button?
That's about it. It's been really on my grind trying to get more buyers their homes, and
good.
I'm on a roll for 2020.
Can we toast to that? I'll wait until
How was
Mr.
your
Major
weekend?
Bay.
After me, my weekend was good. A little bit of work. Got into the gym, trying to get right for 2020.
All right.
Had a lot of day ones already. It's only February, but that was pretty much it. Picked up a few refinances while these interest rates are so low.
Nice.
So
Did y'all hear that?
Tell a
Did y'all
friend
hear
to
that
tell a
promo
friend.
talk?
We'll definitely get into that.
Speaking of getting back into the gym, has anyone tried this Slim So Fat tea? Fat So Slim. What's it called? ISO tea? What they call it now?
Skinny tea.
Skinny tea, but they call it something else on Instagram.
Just look at me.
Come on. First of all,
did I hear someone was a brand ambassador or something on this panel?
Yes.
Tell them how to get at you, Kat, with this tea.
Right.
With this ISO
What
tea.
flavor is that?
Where's my girl
Lemon
Tina?
now.
They have the CBD version. That's the one you're talking about.
This is
Detox.
CBD.
That's the detox tea.
Take your pains away.
It
Your
definitely
headache.
works with the weight loss.
CBD sound like some other stuff.
Nah, it's definitely it works, and I do sell it.
How much is it?
It depends. You can get a trial for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
Test it out. Tina, help me out. Is Tina on my live?
How's that NutriBurst? Because won't you come up here next week with some shots and we'll give y'all our
definitely right. I'll bring the NutriBurst, the NRG pills.
That's what I was thinking
Oh,
of.
the pill?
The
Yeah.
NRG. What does the NRG do for you?
Well, first of all, it helps burn calories.
Okay.
And it gives you that boost of energy as well. So,
Nice.
you're-
You know Beverly.
Mhm.
Beverly. Okay, I'm so
I
lazy.
think she's on the same team as Tina.
I'm not sure. I know she lost 35 pounds in like 4 months.
Yeah.
She
When I
killed
first
it.
Is that healthy though?
Well, she had just had a baby, so she was
that's healthy.
breastfeeding and doing all other stuff, so just combined. But the stars do it all the time.
Right.
No, but I think they
be
have like personal
35
trainers
pounds in
and stuff.
2 days. Maybe she had a personal trainer.
Yeah, that's good.
It can definitely be used as a
I
supplement.
know she
as
was
well.
working out a lot in addition to with the NRG. Now, I remember they had a fat burning pill. Did they replace that with the NRG?
That is the NRG.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just liquid crack now.
Right.
Okay. Asking for a friend. Y'all know I'm signing
I'll
up
bring
tomorrow.
some samples next time.
Please do. So you gonna use this ASOT, Mr. Bay over there?
Oh yeah. I got a cabinet full of it.
Really?
No.
No, because I've seen
That cabinet full of my
guys-
skinny tea.
No, right.
Got my waist
Yeah, do
trainer,
they-
all that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Do they
God.
make skinny tea for men? Is that or is just that?
No,
I
that.
think
Yeah.
Oh,
this
that's for
is
men
for
and
men and
women.
women.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
Okay.
Look at me promoting
That's
this.
what's up. Yeah, you need to be a brand ambassador. in that.
Man, if I have one more thing under my belt,
Right. That
But-
part.
I can't wait till next week, Kat. So
I
we
got
can.
you. I got you.
I did try it. Look, I did try it. It had like a lemony taste. I have to focus on drinking more water and less wine.
Or both.
Right.
Oh, both. Right? We'll work on that. We'll work on
Water
that.
and wine.
Speaking of which,
In 2020
Right.
to 2020.
Yeah, to 2020.
I ain't so. Welcome to the show.
Yes,
Welcome
welcome.
to
Having
the
me.
show.
Absolutely.
Candace in this heat though. Jeez.
I'm sorry.
It's
Real-
toasty here.
So
The
we're
way-
about to get real warm. Let's talk about. Did anyone get any awards?
Woo!
Nice. I see, Maddie. You got Circle of Excellence. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
And this is not your first year.
This is last year was my second year.
Nice.
So I'm a little bittersweet about this award, because I made bronze last year as my first year, so I was really pushing for silver. But when those
Right.
deals don't get to the closing
Yeah.
table on time,
Yeah.
so I was a little hurt. I'm lying. I was hurt. So I'm going to make sure I have my abundance, my deals that I know that's going to fall apart, but just I'm going to make sure,
Right.
because I don't want to make bronze anymore.
Do you want to explain what the
Right.
Circle of Excellence Award is?
So the Circle of Excellence Award is based on the Realtors volume. I won't get into volume right now because I'm pissed about my volume, but let's just say it's based on volume. So every tier has a different amount of volume. And just because you don't see a realtor post, that does not mean they didn't make Circle of Excellence. That just means they got other things to do.
But it's also optional. Like
Right.
not everyone
Yeah.
applies. Because I totally get it. I too made bronze Circle of Excellence, and of course,
Your award nice and shiny though.
that's different.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, I had like 10 deals carry over from last year, so
That's hurtful. You just want to
Yeah.
chop somebody
so
in the
I definitely
eye.
was looking for. But I'm gonna skip silver. I'm gonna go for gold.
Nice.
I'm gonna go for gold next year. So
that deserves an air
I'm
horn.
ready for
Yes.
buyers that's ready. I'm going right for gold next year.
Nice.
Snap. Can we get some super beats for gold? Cause no.
Which one is it?
Come on, producer.
Is it this one?
That's it.
Try it.
No, it's this one.
Hey.
Air horn on it.
What's you know what? I'm gonna just go back and do my own research. Go ahead, do your thing, girl. Question: do lenders get like awards like this?
There is a national one like that's real big, but as far as like even just in the state of Jersey, I don't think so. I don't know any like we don't have like a like the Bergen board or anywhere where we can submit, which would be nice. I think
So
like,
you
Yeah.
have
listen
to
a little bit more
implement that.
competition.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I
Tell
like
them I
that.
sent you. It was my idea, New Jersey lenders people.
I like that.
I got y'all. So, Kat,
Yes.
I saw this house that you chose for Home of the Week.
Oh, where's our ratings?
Somebody's slipping. You know what? I guess we're gonna have to do without them.
We're gonna have to
They getting
do
the
it on our
folder.
hands.
Unless Pat
Fine.
want to bring in our
Where is it?
is in the room in there.
Okay.
See what had happened was we thought we was early and we messed up. So I guess we'll just vote. Our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. The ratings. See,
You have
our
a-
producer is on point.
Do you have a picture of the house?
Yes. See what happened was we ended up with this. But wait.
Oh.
But wait, I sit Pat. I promise you. Pat, remember that picture that I sent you of the Isley brothers? It's not here.
Their house.
Norm. We're gonna blame Norm. That means I messed up. So
She's like,
but you're just missing the house.
yeah.
You're just missing the whole house.
wait,
All right, I can give you a description, I guess.
that'll work. I'm sorry.
So
you know,
the Isley brothers had a home in Alpine that was actually on the market for over a decade, and it recently sold in January for $3 million.
Nice.
It was 9 bedrooms, 8 full baths, 3 half baths, 4-car garage, marble fireplace. And the reason it was listed for so long is because of its uniqueness. So people in that area don't want to pay over $1 million for something that they still need to renovate and bring.
But this the Isley brother house.
Yeah.
Let's fall in love and groove
I don't
with
think
you
anyone's
house.
paying over $1 million just because it's the name.
Right. That's true.
So so that was the home of the week. So happy was able to sell for them after 10 years being listed.
Wow.
That's
Yep.
a long.
Did they drop the price?
Time.
Yeah,
wanted
initially
for
it was $4 million.
Mm-hmm.
So they got $3 million, I would say. That's,
Wow.
And it was like from, I think they bought it in 87, they said?
yeah, they was like the original owners, 87. And at that point, Alpine was the highest selling market.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still relatively high now, but not the highest.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Kat. See, but for those young viewers that don't know the Isley brothers, these my cousins on my daddy's side. So, I'm still going to rake their house. Oh.
Nice.
There it is.
See,
There's the house.
See, I did my
So that
part.
was listed at how much again? How much did they sell it for? I'm sorry.
It was initially listed at 3.8, but eventually sold at 3.
Yeah, that's a lot for to do renovations.
Right, because it was
they
made it to their liking, so a new buyer had to just redo it, bring it up to.
and they probably did everything. It's probably like onyx everywhere and like you know
Onyx? What's that?
like it's a stone
Expensive
like a
stone.
it's like one of the most but they like put it everywhere like in the floors and the walls everything like so
That was a demo where I was like, wait, okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna rate it. I mean, we saw the
I think,
house.
yeah, we can rate it for sure. Yes.
Let me see.
I could use my hands. I can count on those.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not bad. But
It's
see
not
the
bad.
onyx? I
Right,
think that's onyx right
Definitely
there.
Onyx. It's not bad, but it needs updating.
Yeah, look at the
Marble.
floors.
Marble.
Right, marble
Oh,
floors.
yeah.
These
Right.
pictures are without renovations.
That's as
As
is.
is.
That's how
Yeah.
it's sold. See that?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Wow.
It's definitely expensive, but it's out of date.
It's out. Yeah, it's outdated. That's what they were
Yeah.
doing like way back.
Right.
Exactly.
That's the freaky dicky room.
Exactly.
That was BET videos.
Stop.
Regular shoot right there.
Mr.
Right.
Biggs.
I can't.
Right.
You want to use our ratings too? They're
I don't know what
they're feminine, but
Oh.
Want to rate it?
Yeah,
Okay.
So what are we rating?
yeah. What's the criteria?
Like how much
It's
you?
just
Just how I feel about
how
it.
you feel.
Yeah.
You can give your reason.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Who's starting?
Mr. Bay.
Okay.
Nah,
'Cause he
let
going-
me go last.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Miss
Because he
Cat.
want to go do a rap with it or something, or sing with it.
See.
Something. You want to close this out?
It's 16 off.
Exactly.
I'll say, let me see. I'll go with the 3.
Okay.
Okay.
Only because it's the space is good, but it needs some renovation, needs updating.
Right. Okay.
You know, I really love the Ozzy Brothers. Like I said, they are one of my favorite bands. I listen to them on Pandora like every other day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to give them a 4.
Nice.
Because I just like Ozzy Brothers. So I'm going to give it a 4.
Right. Okay. All right.
How about you, Custom?
Okay. I would have to give it a 5.
Woo!
Wow.
Now, hold up. Custom, we've been doing this for 3 weeks now. I've seen some 2s and some 3s.
Well, I know. I skipped a
haven't
few
seen
numbers.
no 5s.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Right.
Tell us why you're giving us a 5.
Because I love Alpine, number one. I grew up
Right,
not
that's
too
the
far
area.
from there. Exactly, that's my area. And also the Isley Brothers are from my area, Teaneck. Like that's their record label is actually named after my town. So the square footage is nice. Yeah, I mean it's bad. You got to gut it out. But hey, like you said, it's the Isley Brothers.
It's the Isley Our next Diva show is going to be aired there. Stay tuned.
Nice.
Right out of that kitchen.
Right out of the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm more mid tier. I'm gonna go with a 3. It's a lot of house. Needs a lot of work, but
Yeah.
you can't deny the potential if you could get in there for the right price.
Right.
But custom, since that's your area,
Yeah.
being that it's sold at 3 in that condition, full renovation, what would be the resale value? No pressure.
Yeah, how many square feet was it?
How much?
I would say, what are the houses selling for? What is it, like a 10,000 square foot house?
I would say
Wasn't that big?
It was.
It
Pretty
looked
big.
big.
Yeah. It was on 2 acres.
Oh yeah. An Alpine, because the taxes are low, probably close to 4, I would say.
Even after they renovated?
Yeah, because you would have to. Yeah, I would say probably around 4.5, maybe. But it's weird because the way Alpine works is they don't have like a school system. I don't even think they have. I don't think they have a post office.
I heard
but
there's one post office.
yeah, and I don't think they have like, you don't get your mail delivered if it's still like that. I don't, it's been a while.
That's what I heard.
Yeah,
Go pick it up.
Yeah, so the taxes are really, really low, and it's not like for, most people, when you're spending that much money on a house, you're sending your kids to private school anyway. But yeah, there's certain things that Alpine doesn't have. So it's a real attractive area because it's suburban and it's so close to the city. But yeah, I would say probably around 4.5. I would have to double check that though.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I first started in real estate, I actually went to the Sotheby's in Alpine. And the young lady looked at me, and I'm looking at her, and she looking at me, and I'm looking at her. That's all I have to say.
Well,
I did say, hi, I'm Madison, and I'm interested to know more about your company. Needless to say, we never interviewed, but I think they sold Alicia Keys' house. That
for less
particular
than that,
office.
right? How much was it?
I can't remember,
Okay.
but we will definitely find out next week
Yeah.
for you. I know Mary J was living out there too, right?
In Alpine?
And Alpine and Puffy and Kim and all of them.
So yeah, because I don't remember who lives where, but Alpine actually borders Inglewood Cliffs. So I know some of them did live in Inglewood Cliffs and others did live in Alpine.
That's what I was thinking of for the mill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's Alpine that has the mail situation. But either way, yeah. I mean, I like Alpine. I used to go golfing. Like they have a country club out there, which I love. I just love that Alpine country club.
Is that event you was trying to ask us to pay $5,000 for last summer? Remember?
I don't pay anything.
It wasn't like $5,000, but it was. I think it was like 500. We were like,
really?
Well, who gonna be there? Like,
I normally.
Was that the same event? Remember?
I don't remember, to be honest, because I didn't go last year. The last event I went to was probably 2 years ago, but I know some people that actually have access, so I kind of, go with them sometimes. Whatever.
Lady golfer. You got your golf shoes?
I actually keep golf clubs in my trunk.
Whoa.
Yeah.
play?
That
That's
sounds like a
for defense.
situation.
Right. For what
All right,
reason?
Batgirl.
No, I play. I mean, it's been a while. When it gets warm, I'm probably gonna go and hit a few balls. But yeah, I love golf. I love to play basketball, boxing. I'm like a sports girl, kind of. No football though. I can't get down with football. Nah, I can't get down with football. But everything else, I'm good with.
I'm gonna tell Katie.
Who's Katie?
Whoa. Katie is what you call him, quarterback. I mean, coach, assistant coach, the 49ers coach.
Oh,
She's
nice.
the first female coach to make it to the Super Bowl. Go
Nice.
ahead, Katie. Go, Katie.
Go, Katie.
You want to start with the topic?
Yeah, so we have Major here. Thank you for coming, Major. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into mortgages and everything like that?
Yeah. So first of all, I've been doing mortgages now for about 5 years, a little over 5 years. I was doing physical therapy when I first came out of school, and I was down in Texas, and I was putting in all these hours, working, and a friend of mine, who I work with to this day, one of my best friends, said, he was like, you should take a look at this mortgage thing, getting the real estate, because I was just talking about all the hours I was putting in, and I had a real ceiling on how much money I could make. He was like, I made $4,000 in a phone call. I was like, what? Well, that's like 80 hours. And I mean, you know, it takes time to close a deal, obviously, but that his sentiment was just one phone call could lead to a lot of money, and you're helping a lot of people. So I was down there and I started taking the courses and studying, and in 2015, end of 2014, I jumped off the porch and got into real estate full time.
Nice.
He make it sound so easy.
Right.
Don't y'all up here trying to be a lender think it's gonna be easy.
Nah,
Right,
the
right,
transition's
right.
tough for sure. It takes. I think everybody, right, in real estate goes through that. You know, you're doing it part time.
Absolutely.
When can you leave your full time job?
Right.
So I did that for about a year before it made sense.
Got it.
Nice.
Sounds good.
So didn't you hear a word? Wasn't there a word or
The
something that
Diva
someone?
word.
Yeah.
So the Diva word is actually HELOC, which stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. Major, would you mind telling our audience what is a HELOC?
What is a HELOC? So a HELOC is an abbreviation, stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. The best description for it is you're using your house as a credit card. So you're just like a credit card, your house is gonna have a line of credit that you have access to, and they'll give you a checkbook. Some banks will give you a debit card, and when you go out and you use it or you write that check, you're gonna get a bill. So you write a check, you want to fix the roof, or you want to go to Cancun, and you write that check for $2,500, $5,000. You're gonna get that bill at a certain interest rate, and it's gonna come out as a separate payment. You're just gonna pay that back till you pay it back down to zero, and then you can swipe again.
Right.
So
That's cool.
Awesome. Good question out there.
So is there a limit or something? Like,
So
how does that work?
the lender who gives you the line of credit will determine the limit for you,
Okay.
and that's going to be based on how much equity you have in the house,
Okay.
as well as your credit score and how you qualify. Basically,
it.
how confident they are you to use that responsibly.
Now,
Nice.
depending on your equity, is there a percentage that you use? Do you just use the whole amount?
There are some banks that will go up to 100% of the value of the house. Most fall anywhere between 85 and 95%. So if your house is worth $100,000 and you didn't have another mortgage on it, you could get that line of credit for say $95,000,
Got it.
which is a huge line of credit.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, wow, I didn't know they went up. Well, I guess equity. Question. So if I'm closing with, I'm really geeking on this name. If I close with first and second mortgage, right?
Right.
Is it, I would say, recommended that you get the home equity line of credit with the same bank? Or should maybe we choose, Customs Bank?
Okay. So first second mortgage is a direct lender, which means their bread and butter is they originate the mortgage loans, and then when they're done, they're gonna put it in a folder with a whole bunch of loans that are real similar, called a mortgage-backed security. And then another bank is gonna come buy that whole folder. So Wells Fargo, Caliber, Round Point, whoever, and then that's who's gonna service your loan.
Okay.
Most direct lenders don't do HELOCs.
Okay.
HELOCs are going to be your credit unions, TD Bank, Wells Fargo, PNC, your bigger banks. Typically, where you keep your checking and savings account, or if they are servicing your mortgage, if Wells Fargo went and bought it from us, it might make sense to start with them because they're the ones who are actually grading you and watching you how you pay back that monthly payment for the next 30 years.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Good. What else you got going on, Miss Customs?
Yeah, 'cause
you reading your notes.
No, I was actually checking your live.
Yes, you know what? Really
Yeah, it's been a
quick.
little.
Let's see who's on the check-in.
Yeah,
I'm so
couldn't.
sorry.
Yeah,
Custom have to help me do this all the time.
Okay.
First
Andre.
time seeing you leave. I guess why I'm looking. Well,
Yeah,
upset.
it didn't work.
So we're checking to see.
Thank you, Andre.
Yes, Renoy, Nevaeh, Iris. All right. Mary J's Upper Saddle River. Thanks, Eric. We can't wait to have you up here as well.
Yeah.
Another celebrity just bought it, and you helped find, and you didn't call your diva girl. Well, let's remember his wife is also a realtor. He said, "Looking good, brother."
Eric Estevez.
Oh, that's my man. Shout out to Eric.
Hey, Eric. Breezy, congratulations.
Remember last week when
Yes.
they said,
Congrats,
Man,
Breezy.
remember.
I don't know if you didn't want to say his name, but shout out to one of your favorite attorneys. I love that guy.
Mr. Adolfo?
Mr. Adolfo.
Oh.
Oh.
Shout out to Adolfo.
We love Mr. D. Martinez.
I hope he catches this.
You know what? Mr. D. Martinez doesn't have Facebook, but he has
Instagram.
Instagram.
That I do know.
But his Instagram is about food. Mr. D. Martinez, you done got the gram. We need you to catch up. So I'm going to ask them, what are you?
And while we get into that, so you mentioned with the HELOC, right, and having a limit, it was based on like the qualifications. Can you talk about like a qualifying criteria for just a regular loan, someone who's looking to get a mortgage?
Just mortgages in general, yeah. I mean, qualifying criteria. Number one is employment.
Okay.
Not and I say that because some people get it confused as with assets. Like the bank, when we give you that mortgage, you're gonna get that payment every month. Mm-hmm. So they're not really so concerned that you have $1 million in the bank. Mm-hmm. They really want to know how much income do you generate per month, so we can determine, because we're predicting for the next 30 years that you're going to be able to make this payment. Mm-hmm. So I had somebody call me recently, and I kind of had to hurt his feelings because he said he'd been out of work for a while, which is okay. Well, we can, let's come up with a game plan.
Right.
And then he went on to tell me, but he's been making a lot of money sports betting, and he was serious. He really wanted me to, work with that, and I had to let him know, like, that's not stable income.
Uh-huh.
But is it taxable income?
Sports betting?
Right.
It is, but no. If I needed to borrow,
I'm just trying to talk to the non-traditional people out there.
I hear you. So, job income, that's number one. Your credit score, that's number two. But then more important than just your credit score is your debt.
Right.
A lot of people get bugged out if they have like high credit card debt or high student loans. What we're worried about really is, again, it all comes down to that monthly.
Payment.
So what's that monthly payment, and how does that affect your mortgage plus your car plus your credit cards? How much can you afford to pay all those plus still be able to handle your mortgage payment? And all that's really gonna, those three things right there, your monthly payments, your overall credit score, which is just a numerical value to tell somebody how responsible are you to pay back money that was loaned to you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that's how we score somebody we don't know. We just kind of go with the number and the paperwork, and then income. Employment is important.
Seems like no matter what, it always comes down to the numbers.
Right. Speaking of numbers, so like when we talk about credit score,
mm-hmm.
what's like the minimum credit score? Like what credit score should someone have? Yeah.
So there's lenders and banks that will go as low as 500. There's programs that it's not even credit dependent. When you're talking to like direct lenders and for most first time home buyers, the minimum credit score is going to be 580. You really want to get to like that 600, 620 mark where the financing is still favorable. Interest rates don't start creeping up too high on you. For that reason, your credit score is kind of like it tells the banks again how credit dependent are you, mm-hmm. and that's what's going to determine your interest rate. A higher interest rate just means you appear more risky to the lender. Okay. So if you find a program where they say, oh yeah, we'll give you a loan and no credit, I promise you that interest rate's going to be astronomical.
Right.
Because when you said 500, I almost fainted.
Yeah, it can be done, but it's not.
I'm not saying
favorable.
Fainted at the score. What I'm speaking of a fainting of what interest rate.
Oh yeah.
Would the borrower have? No judgment here.
Right.
Ever. Just asking a question.
Yep.
So what kind of interest rate would someone be allocated with the score at 500?
At a 500, so I mean you're looking at a portfolio loan, which just means probably private lending. I mean, mm-hmm. And right now with rates being so low, I would say anywhere from the high 5s to low 7s easily.
Low 7?
Yeah.
I'm sweating just thinking about it. But you know what? It's interesting because people will finance a car with a didn't we just say this last week?
Yeah.
With like 22% interest rate,
Mhm.
but and still renting, which is fine. Listen, I'm not judging. I'm just stating some facts
Prioritizing.
here.
Mhm.
But how about you call one of us, right? So we can get you a home at 7%. 22 minus 7%.
Money saved.
Money
Right.
saved, house earned, and
Equity.
And
equity. Right.
And also, do you do? Because I know some lenders will help the buyer boost their credit score. Is that something that you do? Like with the
Absolutely.
what is that called? A rapid
Rescore.
rescore. Okay.
I have an incredible credit repair specialist who I work with, who I've been working with closely. So I had a situation with a guy today, and a lot of times I think with mortgages, people make a monster under the bed. Like they'll tell themselves they have, my credit's no good. I have bad credit, and they wear it like a badge. Where I tell people credit is dynamic, right? It just tells a story. So if you went through a situation or something happened and your credit score fell off, let's go ahead and pull it today so we can start to rewrite that story and figure out what needs to be done
Right.
to pull you out of the red and push you into the green and get you pre-approved.
Right.
Amen. You be like so surprised how many new buyers that we all run into when they say they don't know their credit, but I know it's bad. Well, how
Right.
bad? I don't know. Well, why don't we pull it?
Right.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
pull
wanna
it
pull it.
later. I'm gonna pull it tomorrow.
Mhm.
Tomorrow becomes 6 months. 6 months become a year. So I like that you said just let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Mm-hmm.
See where it is. See where your score is to move you forward.
Mm-hmm.
Come
Yeah.
on, guys. It's 2020.
It's a
Them
big-
interest rates are low.
It's a big
Yes.
fear of people getting their credit pulled, and that's the smallest part of your credit
Right.
score.
Right.
People will comfortably miss a payment, thinking, well, it's just one, but I don't want to get it pulled. Where getting, that's where you go get diagnosed. That's where you got to go to the doctor and get checked and figure out what the issue is.
Right.
Asking for a friend.
Who's that over there?
I'm not sure. Kat, this your champagne over here? Kat was asking. She must
Oh,
be
who's
Okay.
this? That?
Must be
Did you-
Kat's.
moving on.
Oh. Okay.
Kat, what's on your list?
Now, once you have the buyer pre-approved, generally speaking, how long does it take for you to close on a loan?
To be able to close a deal anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks on a refinance and a purchase, really.
Okay.
If everybody's working together, communicating, and everybody's working towards the same goal, which you guys know doesn't always happen. It's not
Right.
always the case.
Right.
Right.
But,
Us golds, no.
yeah.
What'd you
I
say?
mean, us bronze, no.
Right. It takes, so what he's trying to, it takes commitment. It takes initiative. If the lender's asking you to submit certain paperwork, he needs to submit it in full. Not partially submitted, the full report,
right.
bank statement, tax returns, like
no crossing stuff out. We get that a lot. We ask for bank statements, and people just get weird and
No
they're like,
way.
I don't want to. Well, they'll send it and they'll take a black marker and cross out the account
the
number.
account number, right?
It's like even
The name,
it just
the
it
address.
just looks fishy. You know what I mean? I can't submit that. We're submitted this to a bank,
Right.
so it's just being on top of it and getting everything in, and it's a lot. It's a lot of paperwork.
The role.
But
Yeah.
I think it's your lender's responsibility
Right.
to explain everything. So you shouldn't just be sending stuff and not knowing why. And I think that's a big frustration for a lot of people.
Right. Now, do you have a team that you work with? And do you have a particular role as a lender?
I do. So I have a team. I have 2 other loan officers that work with me. I have a processor and a loan officer assistant. So my role really, once we get the contract, I'm there every step of the way. But my loan officer assistant and my processor are the ones who help me out tremendously with.
Okay.
They'll reach out to the borrower. Hey, we need an updated pay stub. Hey, we need this or that. And I always make an effort to introduce them so they know.
Right.
And we roll like that. And if anything does come up or if there's something that they're not clear on, my clients always call me and we go through it together until we get to the finish line.
Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
I'm glad that you asked that question, Kat, because just like realtors, we have a lot of, dynamics that help close the deal. So I'm glad that Kat asked what's your role as a lender, because you explain to the borrower that you're not the only one running the ship. So you said your loan assistant in addition to your processor.
Right.
But is your closer there as well? Because sometimes it be one, but everyone sits in 5 different spaces, and sometimes they don't communicate, which makes you make bronze instead of gold. Asking for a friend.
Right. So I mean, in the way my operation's set up, like my closer, by the time she comes in, everything's done. My underwriter, however, who's the real decision maker, the rainmaker, the decider of all things, she's actually in the same office as me, which is also valuable. Very, where I can walk over, hey, listen, I just want to get clarification. What do you think of this? And we can run scenarios, and she's beyond helpful as well. So that makes my job a lot easier.
Yes, I'm glad that you said that. And borrowers, we want you guys to understand when he said walk over there, that makes me feel comfortable, because a lot of times we do send emails, and because they sit in different offices, if he can just walk over to his underwriter or whomever, at least I know by the end of the day I will have an answer versus the next day and the day after, especially when that buyer is, anxious and ready. Wow. Okay. So I want to actually ask you about your refinance. What is a refi? Let's start there.
Okay. A refinance is when you purchased your house, you put your original down payment, you got your loan, you wait 2 years, and interest rates, like right now, have dropped significantly low, and you say, I want to get a lower interest rate. What we're going to do is we're going to refinance your loan. So we're going to pay off the loan you currently have, because you currently have a loan for $200,000 at 4.5%. We're going to, and you've been paying that to Wells Fargo for the last 2 years. So you come to first, second mortgage, we're going to write Wells Fargo a check for $200, and we're going to pay that off. And then we're going to give you a new loan for $200,000. We're going to give you a new loan for $200,000 at an interest rate of 3.5. So now your mortgage payment is dropped. Your loan amount is your loan amount's the same, and you got a lower interest rate. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take that, put it back into a folder, and we might sell it back to Wells Fargo. We might sell it to any of the other servicers who are investors with our bank.
And about how long does that take?
The refinance process?
Yes.
Same thing, about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on paperwork and how fast we can get appraisals and inspections done.
Nice.
Stuff. And we spoke about the home equity line of credit. Was there something else?
Is there any type of popular loan that a lot of people, what's your most popular
I mean, the most popular loan is probably a cash out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nobody fights you on a cash out. They'll give you whatever paperwork you need when the bottom line is going to be an $80,000 check to them. But I mean, when you say popular,
what is the most, what type of loans are you doing the most of?
FHA.
Yes, FHA conventionals.
I mean, FHA has become so a common myth with FHA is it's only for first time home buyers,
right?
Which is not true, but it's become the poster child for first time home buyers,
right.
And that's because it's so accessible to a lot of people, whether it be lower down payments, lower qualifying credit scores. FHA will let you. So we talked about those, that monthly debt. FHA will let you borrow more money with higher monthly debt. So it's just more accessible to a lot more people. So it's kind of become the poster child, and I think it is the most popular loan product that's available.
Mm-hmm. I just learned over the weekend that you can have 2 FHA loans within a 100-mile radius.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had no idea. The first time home buyers went crazy. We was giving them a house that they was like, do y'all know what that means?
Yeah.
But they were very receptive to that. Does your we deal with a lot of first time home buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Does your lender,
bank,
do you have any down payment assistance programs?
We do. We have We have 100% financing.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
We
so
have to
if-
talk.
Whoa. Burr.
You get airborne.
Wow.
We have to talk.
So if you
Tell us
What
what
do you
that
mean by
means.
100% financing is what it sounds like. So if the house is, I'll just always use 100,000. If the house is 100,000 and you don't have 5,000 to put down, we will finance the full 100,000.
What's the criteria?
So it's tiered, same thing. So if you're at a higher credit score, it's a lower interest rate. If you're at a lower credit score, it's a higher interest rate. But the minimum qualifying score, I believe, is 640. And it comes as a FHA or conventional. So what they actually do is the 3.5% that you would put down,
Sure.
watch this, first and second will finance that as a second loan, So you get
First and second.
That's it.
Aha.
That's it, covering all
Like
bases.
a layaway loan. Dang.
And it's and there's different ways we could set it up. We could
Nice.
set it up, I believe, at a higher interest rate where it's forgivable in 3 years, or you can actually do that one at 0% interest. So there's no extra payment, and I'm sorry, that one's forgivable, and so you got to basically make all your mortgage payments for 3 years, but you can't refinance. So that's the tough part.
Okay.
And is it only for single families, or can I use this for a multi?
They just opened that up to 2 families
Okay.
for the FHA, not 3 to 4. And I did find out recently when somebody called to inquire, we can do it on condominiums as well.
Yeah, that's something new, right, in the industry. Before, I think it had to be like a predetermined condo, FHA, what do you call it, qualified? But now I think they can push things and it doesn't have to be qualified. The building doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
But I think the
much more
lender,
lenient.
yeah, that's good. Good news for the first time home buyers.
Absolutely. I'm just going to go ahead and check on the check-in. I need to actually get to that Instagram because I know Instagram got some questions. Instagram don't know how to be quiet. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still hiring a cameraman or woman. If you are in the area of Plainfield, please reach out to us. Let me see. Hello, Madison from East Orange. Want to know, how can a person get a loan, qualify for a house? William, I'm going to call you later. Fatima, hey. Mark Odom said, thanks for the knowledge. I'm going to like this, and I'm going to reply to him.
Do you have anyone on your live?
Let me see.
Can you see who's on my live? From IG?
I'll explain. No.
Okay. So I'm sure you have questions for us, Mr. Bay.
I do have
What's
a
your
couple questions for my
Sure.
real estate professionals.
Sure.
One that I like to ask agents, and I get different answers all the time, because from a lending side, we have a different point of view. But why do agents feel like when they're on the listing side and they're accepting offers, why do they feel like larger down payments
Great
automatically
question.
equal stronger buyers?
Great question.
Did they teach that in the school?
Not at
No,
all.
they didn't.
That's something
That's a great
I tend to
question.
question also. But
That's a great question.
do any of you guys agree with that? Or
No, I don't
I'm
at all.
just like, I don't even know why people even think like that.
Right.
Because I think realistically, when you are looking over your offers, right, you are looking at who's the lender. You're looking at how soon can they really close, right? We're looking at the terms. In retrospect of how many days are they really going to do the home inspection instead of the standard 14? Are you going to maybe do 7? How are you going to do the appraisal and the home inspection at the same time? And as far as down payment, well, you have to. Well, I guess we have to look at the market that we service, because just because a buyer puts down, let's just say 5,000 or 1,000 or 10,000, it doesn't really lock them into the loan. You gotta have a good attorney, so they can get their down payment back. So, well,
I guess that's the determining factor. is
Absolutely.
that whether they have a good attorney or not. In the event that they don't have a good attorney and they're at fault, then the seller perhaps feels they can.
It's a safer deal for
Right,
them.
right.
Okay. It's a safer deal for your
They can
client
keep
when you're
the
the
deposit or
listing
something.
agent.
Right.
Okay.
But again, a good attorney will get the buyer that deposit right back.
All right. So we're all on the same page. You guys.
Right.
All right. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you guys that I admire is a lot of agents get to wear different hats. So there's agents. Yeah, right. There's agents that do a little title. They do insurance. Some are doing what's it called, home staging. Do any of you are all three of you full time only real estate, or did you guys get to a point in your business where it was like, I know I can do this well and also kind of branch into a different hat to supplement my business?
Yes.
What do you do, Candace?
Yes, I do. I do management, property management, staging, construction, investing, and then regular real estate sales.
Hey man, give her an air horn.
You booked and busy, honey. I didn't know you do staging.
I have my own staging company, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know.
I don't really do it. I mean, if you beg me to do it for somebody, I will, but it's really, it kind of goes hand in hand with my investing.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Now that definitely makes sense.
But my mom was an interior designer, so that's kind of how I got into.
Was it genetic?
Yeah, I would say a lot of my creativity definitely comes from my mother. Absolutely.
Shout out to mom.
Yep. Shout out to her. Thank you.
Go.
How about yourself, Maddie?
I just got my notary like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Okay.
I have to figure out, how do I want to position it in real estate? I know we have some notary closers, but I will have to learn the business, like the real business of title. You just don't want to be signing things.
Right.
You want to be held accountable in the right way. So, yes, so far that. How about you, Miss Kat? Kat's also a broker.
Right.
Let's just start there. Boom.
I have my broker
Big
license.
hat. That's a big hat.
I do have my broker license. I've had it for 2 years now. But I do also have my staging certification.
So both of y'all fancy and they tell me nothing. That just got me out here looking crazy. House need paint. No one telling me. Okay.
I do property management. And I do this full time, and I work with both first time buyers, investors, landlords, sellers. So I do it all.
Stay busy.
Stay busy. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How about yourself?
No. So I that's kind of what made me ask. What I've been thinking about, like, where else can I, supplement my business and also start to, branch off as I've kind of solidified this area, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to be, a master of my craft before I become a jack of all trades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that's important. I think that's why even with real estate, we need 3 years before we can apply for our broker's license. So I guess after your 3rd year mark, which you have surpassed, or whichever, not like whichever, meaning us, like after 3 years, we're thinking like, what else can we do? Because in your 1st year or 2nd year, you're still learning the business, sort of like your tenure.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Good stuff. So we learned a lot today.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Definitely.
Absolutely. What would you like our viewers to know about you? How can they contact you? And shout out your promo shirt that you have going on.
Yeah, I like that.
I just happen to have this on. I'm glad I'm here. I mean, so you guys can find me on Instagram at majorbey_mortgage. It's MAJOURBEY_mortgage. And I want people to know I'm accessible. I enjoy the education. I enjoy working with first-time home buyers. No question is a dumb question.
Amen.
Yeah.
And I love working with people who didn't believe that it was possible. Giving hope and making it happen. And those are like my favorite success stories from when someone DMs me saying, listen, I don't know where to start, to, oh my God, I can't believe I just got the keys to my new home.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I have to shout you out too, because I didn't mention when I introduced you, you came last minute, like literally, like I'm like
really
yeah,
custom.
that was good.
Yeah.
He was there. So I mean, that's like the type of lender that you want to work with, someone that's gonna be like right there when you need them. So that's good. That's
Anytime.
good.
Let me just be clear. So one of our lenders couldn't make it. Not that we just, not like we weren't prepared.
I think they know we weren't prepared. I mean, I think they.
We don't want our viewers to think that we weren't prepared. But thank
No.
you, Mr. Bay, for jumping in and
Oh, you're
taking
welcome.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Before you leave, I wanted to actually save that live. Let me squeeze behind, because last week we missed it.
What happened?
Oh, we wasn't able to save the live.
You know, on Instagram you have 1 hour.
Oh, that's why my phone just cut off?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes, you have 1 hour.
Yeah.
You have 1 hour.
Instagram.
Well, I think we
right
can
on.
end.
I want to miss it this week.
Yeah, I think we can end. Any last remarks?
No, that again, any questions you may have, I can be reached at on Instagram, Mrs._Realty. Kathleen Henriquez Ali on Facebook. How about yourself,
Custom_fitted_realty, custom with the K. You can also hit me up on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
And Miss Madison Realty. All right, guys. Thank
right.
you. Have
All
a
right.
good night.
Hold on. I have a question.
Oh, Kat, you have a question?
Jimmy Joseph said, "Hey, got a lot of love, Kat,
Okay.
Hey.
Deanna, and Ricardo, everyone. I'ma save it."
Thank you
Okay.
guys for tuning in.
Thank you.
Next Monday, 7 p.m. Real Estate Divas.
Good night.